Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. Welcome to the show. Guys are doing well, guys are having a wonderful day. Today's one of the most important videos I'm going to be filming in a while, and not about my my beloved mother. Oh, what an intro! Yeah, but seriously, today's want to be one of the important video that I'm gonna make. Should possibly wait until I'm more awake, but fuck it, we only live once. YOLO. I got it tattooed here. Oh, you checked? Today, I want to talk about why we're making these videos. So, my apologies. A lot of people are asking me, why are you always doing video talking? Why are you always doing those videos where you sit and talk? Why are you always doing videos that are of different subject but similar? And the reality is, I'm 31 years old. Right? It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. I need to say it 3 times. That way you believe it. The reality is, I'm not at a place in my life, and it's fine. I'm not saying this. I'm not trying to be a victim. I'm not playing as to be a person that you can feel bad for. Pretty happy. I have had a good life. There's a lot of opportunity in my life that I didn't take. A lot of opportunity to grow as a human being, as a person, that I didn't take. There's a lot of adversity that I shielded myself from, that I didn't take on at first. And you don't take adversity at first, then you're suffering for nothing. So when you take adversity and you do it as something like, oh, this is a canon event, which subject we talked about yesterday, if this is a canon event, I need to face it. I need to live through it. If I don't live through it, then I'm missing a canon event, and my perfect version of myself, perfection, doesn't exist. However, if you're the closest to perfection that you're supposed to be, if you're looking at things like fate, destiny, if you achieve the peak of who you are supposed to be, that is perfection. That is your perfection. A different description or signification or meaning. Signification is in French. Meaning of the word perfection. And that's why we're doing those videos. See, those videos in itself are of different subject. They're never about the same subject. Sometimes they're similar, never about the same subject. Those videos are now 10,000 strong. I know my channel has 25,000 videos. Most of them of gaming, right? May it be mukbang, may it be talking, maybe nature corn, maybe going outside at night, may it be working out, may it be visiting the city. There's a lot of playlists on my channel. A lot of people say there's too many playlists on my channel. They're gonna say there's too many videos on my channel. But they all fall under one pretense. They all fall under the same guise. Personal growth. See, when I look at myself, I'm extremely happy of what I become. I'm extremely happy of the work I've done in the last couple of years. I'm extremely happy of how much I've evolved since I started making content, right? Which is directly what we're talking about right now. And I understand I did some self-growth. I understand that I evolved again as a person. And if anything, and it's not... I guess if I had to put it into a word, I would call it FOMO, which is fear of missing out. But it would be the same fear, but instead of missing out, fear of not evolving, fear of stagnation, right? Stagnation is technically a body of water that doesn't move, and it goes bad because water contains bacteria. But when bacteria dies, they emit a gas which makes the water pungent. And that can even happen to the human also. We only have a certain amount of time on Earth, and that is why I'm working so hard. It's why those videos are the same, because personal growth. If I'm being completely honest, I'm extremely happy with how far I went, but there's still a lot of work to do. There's still a lot of work that can be done, right? Now, am I saying I'm gonna do this for 10 years? Absolutely not. For right now, I have the... For right now, I'm doing the most I can with what I have. For right now, I'm doing the most I can at evolving as myself. There's gonna come a time where I'm gonna have to face the real world, which is crazy to say. I'm not facing the real world, but thinking about it, right? Still a small channel, still don't get a lot of interaction. The one I get, I am very thankful for. The one I don't get, I'm like, okay, that's no problem. It'll be a time where I'm constantly going to be judged, and this is a choice because you put yourself under personal view, and the social aspect of being under personal view. People are going to be liking you, people are not going to be liking you. You can't please everybody, right? And all of those subjects I do, all of those videos that I do, have been a point of contempt, a point of thinking about it. At some point, there's something that I've done 3 months ago about asking myself question, asking myself, why is it like that? Why does this happen? And now I have the answer, right? Those videos are irrelevant to me. I have the answer. But those videos were the seed that I had to plant to see that tree grow. See, if you saw yourself as a garden, right? There's this classic expression where we say we don't see the forest for the tree. And you look at it, it doesn't make any sense. Then you understand what it means. If you saw yourself as a garden, what would you plant? How many of them would be for show? How many of them would serve a purpose? For show, I would say roses are for show. I would say lilies are for shows. I would say tulips are for shows. And if there's a purpose, I would say garlic. I would say chive. I would say onions. I would say potato. I would say tomato. Potato, tomato. You know? And yeah. See, and this is what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to build a garden. And that's pretty much it. Those videos are a preemptive. Imagine, I don't want to call myself an athlete because I'm not an athlete, but even the brain is a muscle, right? So it could be an athlete for the brain. Imagine if you had a competition, you had your Olympics, and you know the exact date of your Olympics. What would you do? Would you prep for it? Or just let it slip? His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy, he vomited on the sweater already. Mom's spaghetti, he's nervous, but on the surface he looks calm and ready to drop bomb. But he keeps on forgetting when he rolled down the whole crowd goes so loud. He opened his mouth, but the word won't come out. Choking now, everybody's choking now. Can somebody tell me the song in the comments? Thank you. See, I look at these 3 last year as a time of trial, as a time of improvement, as a time of growth. Right? And I know what you're saying. See, this video is also a direct result of last week. Last week when I felt less motivated to make content. I don't know why I felt less motivated, but you understand that the last 3 years were serving a purpose of holy shit. Okay, phew. I'm recording and I have to keep it under an hour. That way, I can put it on TikTok and on YouTube. When you realize that those 3 years are self-growth, like, dude, that was needed, right? That's a lot of self-growth. But all of those videos, all of those meaning is, and that's a beautiful thing. When you think about it, it's really, it's so powerful. See, I haven't been making content my whole life. Some people, they've been making content for 15 years and you see them grow. It is insanity. It is insanity how life is well made. And I know I sound crazy, possibly am, but it does make sense. I've been listening to some old AGP. So I was looking for a specific video because one of my favorite videos from AGP, and then I wrote AGP on YouTube and I found a 685 videos playlist, and it's from the first video to the first video. Right? And you see those people grow, and I'm talking about not Michael. I'm talking about the nephew, Jacob. I always forget those names. Fuck. There's more than 2. There's 4. JC, and I'm missing the young one, the very very young one. Fuck. My apologies, the young one. Dude, look at the moon. Always been obsessed with the moon. Always been obsessed. So yeah. So long story short. I'm seeing them people grow, and they've been there, and it's a beautiful thing to see them grow, to see how far they come. But at the same time, I'm extremely fucking lucky, and it wasn't planned lucky. I'm lucky in my misfortune. I'm lucky in my misery, because the misery was spending 28 years not trying to move on, not trying to grow, right? And the last 3 years I've been making content because I'm 31. We're about self-growth. So yeah. I'm very behind the self-growth. It's a lot of work. 3 years self-growth, non-stop. Well, next to non-stop. Majority of the time, it's a lot of work. It's very taxing. But I'm so happy that's happening now, because that self-growth. What if you got to film a journey? What if you got to film everything that you never did, but you wanted to do? What if laziness pushed you to do something tomorrow, but tomorrow you decide to film it, and deciding to film it was the best thing you ever did? One of my favorite content creators is Nico Avocado. Now I know what you're saying. Cringe, I know what you're saying. Troll, I know what you're saying. Not the best role model. But you saw the birth and the death, my apologies, the social media death, not real death, the birth and the death of a content creator who did work for 5 years, and during those 5 years, the homie made some content and saw his highs and lows, and he did videos every single day, right? And it was 5 years, in that 5 year life span, you saw a whole journey. And then you're put in two situations. Is the journey about the time? It's about the amount of content you put out. Is the journey about the is the journey about the amount of money you made? Is the journey about how much time you've put in? Is the journey about the number of videos that you put out, the number of content you put out? Is the video about the number of followers you have, the number of subscribers you have? If the journey is about having suffering but coming out on top, is the journey about how much you suffer but how much you pull through? And lastly, is the journey about who you were and who you become? There's no clear answer. The journey is solving a problem, and that's the problem is life. That problem is life. Life is one of the most beautiful things, it's the biggest gift of mankind. A lot of people will ask me what is the biggest gift. I would ask people, what is the biggest gift? They would say immortality, the power to fly, powers. The biggest gift is life. See, it's the question of freedom also. The question of freedom, which is, how free am I? Everything that I do needs money. I need money, I need to work. What if that freedom was the air you breathe? What if that freedom was the power of waking up the next day? What if the freedom was to talk to a camera? There's no clear definition of freedom. And that is the exact meaning of freedom. You don't know what it is. The freedom of choice, the freedom of choosing what it is freedom itself. Anywho, love you guys, take it easy.